UFC 324 wasn't supposed to feel like a warning shot. It was supposed to feel like a celebration. New era, new money, big spotlight. And then Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett decided the best way to introduce the Paramount run was to turn the main event into a 5-round car crash. Because this wasn't just fight of the year contender chaos. This fight answered questions about Gaethje's last title window, about whether Paddy's hype survives deep waters, and about what happens when you try to beat a specialist by playing his favorite song louder than him. And I gotta own something right now. In my lead-up video, I picked Paddy to win by submission, and I meant it. The logic was simple. If Paddy could get Justin tangled up, force scrambles, make it ugly on the mat, that's where the victory lives. Because standing with Justin Gaethje for 5 rounds, that's not a game plan. That's a stress test. So yeah, I was wrong about Paddy winning the fight. Gaethje took it. Clear on 2 cards, close enough on 1 to keep everybody arguing like it's their job. But here's what I wasn't wrong about. If Paddy was going to lose, this is exactly how it was going to happen. He fought Justin's fight. Not every second, but way too often. Too many extended trades. Too many moments where he tried to out Gaethje. And to Paddy's credit, he proved something even the doubters have to respect. He is an absolutely tough guy. Iron chin, no quit. 8 shots that would have had most people writing a farewell speech mid-round. But toughness isn't the same as control. If grappling is your path, you can't treat grappling like a maybe later. It has to be the spine of the whole fight. Paddy had clinch moments. He had chances to make it messy, but he didn't consistently turn those moments into position, and that let Gaethje keep the fight where Gaethje is at his worst. Round 1 starts with Paddy doing what he should do, touching the legs, mixing kicks, trying to force Gaethje to reset. For a second, you can see the outline of the plan. Then Gaethje closes distance like a man who doesn't believe in plans. That first uppercut drops Paddy, and it's that early "oh" moment that changes how you breathe for the rest of the fight. And the fact Paddy survived it is what kept this from becoming a quick highlight. He got hurt, held it together, and kept throwing back. But the message was clear. If Paddy stays in the pocket too long, Gaethje is going to tax him for every second. And before we even get deep into the rounds, we've got to talk about the messy stuff, because this fight had it. Paddy took 2 eye pokes. The ref warned about a point deduction after the first one. Then the second happens not long after, and suddenly we're back to business like nothing happened. No extra warning, no point, just fight on. And that second poke looked like it really bothered Paddy. You could see him blinking, squinting, trying to get his vision back while Gaethje is still marching forward like a freight train. To keep it fair, Paddy had his own moment too. He lands a low blow that stops the action. So it wasn't one-sided chaos, it was just chaos. But here's what I respected. Paddy didn't do the post-fight whining tour. No excuses. He basically said if he's gonna lose, he'd rather not lose to anyone other than the highlight. That's a fighter talking. And it makes the takeaway sharper, because when your vision's compromised, the pace is insane, and you're trading with a guy like Gaethje, the smallest mistakes start looking huge, and Gaethje lives off huge mistakes. Round 2 is where that Gaethje pressure tack shows up in full. He's marching. He's landing hooks, jabs, nasty uppercuts in tight, and every time Paddy tries to reach for a clinch or a headlock just to slow it down, Gaethje turns it into damage. That round ends with the kind of momentum swing that makes you look at the clock and think, he might not let this see the championship rounds. But then round 3 happens, and this is where Paddy earns real respect, because he starts finding Gaethje with the jab. Not once, repeatedly. He starts touching the body. He starts making Gaethje blink. And you get that moment where Gaethje looks a little wobbly and the whole arena realizes, hold on, this might actually flip. That's also where the low blow shows up, the stoppage, the reset, the little chaos that breaks rhythm. And in a fight like this, those interruptions matter because they reset the brain right when instincts are taking over. Round 4 is the veteran taking the wheel. Gaethje's jab starts snapping Paddy's head back. The uppercuts keep sneaking through. Paddy's face starts swelling. And even when Paddy fires back, even when he lands his own shots and refuses to fold, Gaethje is banking control. He's the one deciding when the exchanges happen, and he's doing it while still throwing like he's behind. Then round 5 is pride. Paddy lands something big and Gaethje wobbles. For a split second, you can see the alternate ending. Then Gaethje fires back with a right hand like he's offended you even considered it. Paddy clinches, tries to lock the waist, tries to steal a moment, but he can't cash it in. Gaethje escapes and it turns into heavy leather again. And in the last 10 seconds, they just go for it, swinging for the fences, stumbling over each other, exhausted men trying to force the universe to pick a winner by violence instead of math. Gaethje gets the decision, but what people will remember is the war. And here's the real lesson from the whole thing. Paddy proved he's built for deep waters, but he fought the wrong fight against the worst possible guy to test that theory on. If your road to victory is grappling, you can't visit it like it's a tourist attraction. You have to live there. You have to force the other man to fight your fight until he hates the sport. Paddy didn't do that consistently, so he ended up in a phone booth with Justin Gaethje, and that's basically signing up to get hit for a living. Still, even while fighting Justin's game, he made it competitive. That tells you his ceiling is real if he tightens the entries, turns those clinches into position, and stops treating survival as a win condition. And for Gaethje, that looked like a man who knows time is finite and doesn't care. If he's chasing one last title chapter, this was the kind of performance that makes it impossible to ignore. So, the Paramount era started with a war. And if this is the standard for new era main events, somebody's going to try to top it. The problem is, they're going to have to top 2 exhausted men swinging anyway. All I can say is, wow, what a fight.
What a fight! Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett.
I would like nothing more than for them to run it back. I know Justin has his sights set on the real title belt shot once Topuria returns, but it would feel like a crime if we did not get part 2 of this epic fight. If the UFC wanted a statement to start the Paramount era, they got one. Written in blood, jabs, and bad strategy under fluorescent lights of Las Vegas. Gaethje didn't win this fight because he's lucky. He won it because he made Paddy pay interest on every single second he stayed in the pocket. Paddy proved he's tough, but he also proved something else. Trying to beat Gaethje at Gaethje's game is like taking a loan with trust me interest. You might survive the first payment, but eventually it comes due, and it's your face that covers the bill. So congrats to the highlight. Interim gold, another classic, another reminder that the lightweight division doesn't do easy. Now let me know in the comments, what's next? Unification? Or does the UFC do what it always does and turn this into a whole new mess? I'm Reggie Cross for Behind the Lines. If you're feeling the vibe, hit that subscribe, and remember, hype fades, legacy don't. Peace.
745